Greetings, everybody. Welcome to update showcase something episode of the ANZAC Armoured ranked thingy. I played a couple of matches and I wanted to showcase, I guess, 3 replays, and in 2 of those just some certain things that happened. Yeah, like I said in the several times, I'm not gonna record everything. I'm not gonna upload every replay, partially because, as someone also mentioned in the comments, it's gonna be boring after a while for you. Also because many of the matches are just boring to watch, just by how bad the enemy is. As you saw in the last episode, I believe, where I played versus was it a private or a corporal? Anyways, yeah. So ANZAC Armoured, you get the gist. Yeah, I only really want to show the start. My plan was basically pretty much the same as always. M41A1s is meat shields, commandos behind that, and Leopard AS1 pluses. Going into this area. Nothing special. But I'm just gonna let it go here from roughly the perspective I had. And this is roughly where I noticed, oh shit! MLRS. Well, okay, not quite, but when do I notice it? Hello, please, Razzmann. Thank you, thank you. All I lose is a Unimog with Northwest, but this never happened to me at all in ranked. 1v1, never at all. Neither on this map nor on any other map that I got MLRS at the start, or if it happened, then it was like really long ago. So that was kinda new to me, and it is pretty devastating against this deck. The only 2 armored or wheeled units I had were my CV and the Unimog with the scout. Fortunately, the CV was fairly far behind compared to the Unimog, so it survived. If I lost its CV, it would have been very devastating. So I'm using my belt to, as soon as possible, scout where the enemy is going. I also noticed, oh shit, he's playing blue 4. So that was just a Mars, not even a Smirch. But yeah, CH53G, I have to assume those are Fallschirmjäger or Fernspeer, obviously, due to veterancy. Fuchs, Milan, lots of wheel stuff here. Let's see. We have lots of Fuchs, Lux. Yeah, Lux and Fuchs, so I was assuming he's playing Eurocore. And I was also assuming he tried to go for Bravo, considering he marsed me at the start. And is driving down with lots of wheel stuff down the road. I was thinking that he wants to go for Bravo, or at the very least tries to go in here. So what I do, I buy as soon as I can the F111C and try to bump his blob of units. It was somewhat successful. As you can see, he was unable to unload some stuff. It didn't quite hit him, but it was decent enough. And the Leopard 2F5 behind that. So yeah, he didn't gain too much from that, considering that I'm armored anyways. F111C also survived. Then using smoke to break down the side mainly of the ATGM squads that are in there, and also of course the Leopard 2A5. Again, using M41A1s as meat shields, you know the gist. Got lucky that the Milan missed the Leopard. I'm quite a bit mismicroing still with the amount of leopards I have. But yeah, I basically fend off most of his push with ignoring the leopard, and just use the forest as cover to inflate my commandos. Bomb the Milan 2s, trying to get a smoke wall to get my leopard to build up a smoke wall to get the leopards in close range. I shot off on the Leopard 2A5 with my commandos, but it was just a front shot, so it only did 1 damage. Leopard dies. And I think that was a side shot and another side shot, and it's dead. Yeah, I pretty much already won the opener. A lot of stuff died here. I'm not really paying too much attention there. Fortunately, these units are still alive, so at least I know he just didn't drive through with shit. Yeah. I'm just spamming M41A1s here. I'm not even bothering getting, like, trying to get some commandos, walk into the building, bombing them. Just gonna make him run out of anti-tank ammunition with the Fallschirmjäger. I mean, it's gonna end up being roughly just as cost ineffective for me anyways, I would imagine. But yeah, nothing too major. I obviously when their side he's pushing here, but shouldn't really do much. He only has a few Jäger. Bomb mine with my IDS. Killed, I think, at least both of the peace friends. Not sure if I killed the IDS too. Maybe not. I just noticed these circles here. I never noticed them before. Anyways. Kill the Tiger he had there. He's trying to kill my CV. Doesn't work. He bought a seaplane as well with the IDS, killed it, and he didn't get my CV. Easy peasy. Now, the next game was against the same guy. Once the replays show up. Against Jobser again. I should maybe talk a bit slower. Held in a very small place. I think I mentioned it before again. I'm just repeating myself with a lot of statements. Probably the best map for this deck. Fairly short, well, yeah, short map, so I don't have to cross a lot of distance to get to the front line, which makes one of my biggest disadvantages, being mainly tracked, not as detrimental. Yeah, I'm trying to get into this position. Very good area for Leopard Ace 1+s. Medium to short range, where the high AP and high rate of fire really comes to shine. Also, M41A1s are really good for stopping shit to get in there. Scorpion 90s, shit armor, but good gun. Accurate, decent AP for 30 points. Decent range, I think 2100 meter. They're really not shabby, wouldn't use them in a normal deck, since they only have 2 armor, which is pretty bad, since they pretty much die to nearly all autocannon vehicles in most scenarios. But if you have just the points slots like you have an armor, then it can be a nice unit. But we can also see later on the where the 2 armor really is a big downside. And he's playing West Germany, not starting with a 2F5 this time. Lots of stuff in mid here, so I sent the Leopard Ace 1+s directly to the left to stop a possible 2-point push. Which I think he wanted to do, but he was just very slow. Quite a lot of stuff here, but I only... I wanted to get this Commandos 90 here, but I mismarked and sent it there accidentally. I killed the Milan 2s in here already, and he only killed 1 M41. So yeah, that's, like I said, very good for that. Started with 2 manpads here because Drag Rapier FSA on this map, and not FSA, excuse me, the base Drag Rapier, the optical one against helicopters, is pretty terrible here. You have a lot of line of sight obstructions, especially here with all the forest stuff, and the Drag Rapier is just incredibly slow off-road, so repositioning it, trying to get line of sight is really annoying. So yeah, immediately buying an IDS. I'm trying to fast move so he doesn't kill a lot of shit, but even if it does, like, those are just transports and 3 M41A1s. The Kyler would have easily been enough to deal with that. I actually have nothing to do with the Kyler. Not too much else happening here. I'm moving up the commandos here, just spotting and hopefully sniping some reinforcements. Scorpion 90 gets, I think, picked off by the 2F4 there. He's very aggressive with the Gepard. But yeah, the 4 Leopard Ace 1s pretty much murder everything here. Now here is, I spot the Leopard 2F4. There is a Leopard. Now I obviously try to engage it with my Leopard Ace 1+s. 16 AP at this range should be able to penetrate him. Don't have quite line of sight yet, but I think now I have. Yeah, exactly now. He shot at my Leopard Ace 1+. Luckily I survived with 2 HP, which is very good to know. What I do now is I retreat it, get out of line of sight. these are on attack move forward, so one of these three will get into line of sight before he has reloaded, so he can't shoot and finish off this one. And as soon as this one is out of line of sight, I'm attack moving it forward again. Because at that moment the Leopard 2A4 has locked on to another Leopard Ace1+, which means that unless the opponent on purpose micros his 2A4 to shoot at the Ace1+ before it has reloaded and shot the second shot, this Leopard Ace1+ will not get shot at, have the same, nearly the same damage output as before with 2 HP, but is effectively safe. So I get out of line of sight, you see the Leopard Ace1+ stopped aiming. The Leopard 2A4 has to re-aim, which unfortunately you can't see at the moment because the circle is full. Leopard Ace1, this one I think shot at it now. This one is aiming as well. This one doesn't have line of sight yet. And now this one got shot at, and again survives with 2 HP. And as you can see, I had the Leopard Ace1, this one, again on attacking forward. But he retreats his 2A4, so I'm like retreating these two again, getting these two into this position, which should be out of line of sight of the Leopard 2A4, because the force should be deep enough. So that should he be aggressive with something else, or should he be aggressive with the 2A4? In theory, he would shoot at the commando's 91st, and my Leopard Ace1+s would be able to effectively kill it at this range. Its damage and at that short range. Tornado ideas coming in. At first, I thought he was going for the Leopard Ace1+s, especially these ones, which would easily be get killed by that. Even those, good chance that they would at least be heavily damaged if he hit them. Interesting to see that he upvets this unit. I noticed that I think he upvetted nearly or pretty much every unit. Even the Tiger, as you can see, is on Hardens, the Gepard, Kyler, Jäger, BTS are vetted up. Interesting. I wouldn't upvet the IDS because the gun isn't great and the AIM-9s only have 4 HE, so you, in many scenarios, you would need 3 AIM-9s to hit, even when on elite, because the gun is pretty bad. And for cheap, like get support ASF, I guess, you have the Peace Runner already, which gets a lot more from getting upvetted, and is also cheaper. But that's just beside the point. Yeah, since it was the second run, I had an ASF ready. As you can see, it was circling already. If you look at the time over target, at the fuel at the bottom. And together with the Trick Rapier, I was able to shoot it down. Very fortunate there. Excuse me. Jesus Christ, sorry for that. Yeah, we both didn't have a 2-point CV at the start, so I bought mine a while ago. Now he buys this one. Leopard Ace1s were out in the open because, again, I tried to get them out of the IDS bombing site, whatever you would call that. So yeah, retreating them now again. Getting pushed back fairly hard here. I'm gonna try to keep my commandos out of line of sight of the Kyler, which is currently the biggest problem here. Tiger not so much, because I assume that he wouldn't use it very aggressively. You could effectively just fly through and like kill my CV here or something, but I was fairly confident that he would not try to test his luck and do that, and wouldn't really get too far behind my lines. I bought another ASF, the Mirage. Try to go for the Tiger. I missed my code here. I sent the Phantom, since I just shift selected both and then right clicked on the Tiger. I should have sent out the Mirage first and then the Phantom. Phantom obviously being the stronger ASF. So the Tiger gets one shot off on the Phantom. It's the missile. There's the Stinger. To the point here. Hits it. And the Gepard also gets one Stinger off. And bam, I lose my Phantom, which is unfortunate. If I lost the Mirage, it would have obviously been better, but I mean, yeah, could have been worse. At least I killed the Tiger, and that was the main. Even if I lost both of them, I think it would have been worth, because something like a Tiger is one of the biggest problems I have, since I don't have anything wheeled. I guess I might as well change it to my perspective now. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to do now is try to be as defensive as I can in Golf. Build up some more Leopard Ace1+s, repair those, maybe reroute them to the right. But also try to push in here, kill the Leopard 2A4. and get control of Foxtrot. Because if I get control of this, I at some point will also get control of Golf. Because he can't reinforce anymore from here. Reinforcing from here is also kind of awkward due to the bridge. If I get this forest, I also get Foxtrot, especially since I already have Commandos 90 up here. So yeah, just testing with the empty transports, moving up Commandos, so they would hopefully soak up fire of the Leopard 2A4 and my Leopard A1s could finish him off. Lost most of my stuff here, trying to just let those Commandos be in there for now, so I know that at least this force is secure. I have no idea what's going on in here. Since these Commandos 90 are too deep, I probably should have moved him like in here or in here, so at least I could see whether he's moving stuff down the road, which you will see later actually happens. He's now pushing with his light force he had there on the left. I lost an MRV on the left earlier, I believe. And those were originally 2 Commandos 90 squads, I believe, as well. But yeah, that's not too much. The MRVs are generally enough to fend that off. And yeah, here we see Fuchs Milan driving through. Nothing major, even my Leopard could have dealt with this, but it's always nice to see. It's always good if the enemy doesn't know where CV is. Meanwhile, I got this forest here, though most of the commandos will die. Draper doing some nice jobs here. Kill the Leopard 2A4 to do some nice side shots and getting a crit on it. The Commandos 90 here get killed by the Kyler, and this is the situation where the 2 armor is really detrimental. 15 AP versus 2 armor on this range. Yeah, he's just one-shotting me. I was hoping that at least he would not need 2 shots to kill 1 Scorpion, but as you can see, he does not, which is quite kind of unfortunate. Originally, they would drive this road anyways, but since I had to reroute them to deal with the Fuchs, they were driving down this road. Yeah, this is fairly wide open here. I'm really hoping he doesn't move the Kyler down there. That's why I'm moving the Leopard AS1 Plus up to the road to go. I also noticed that he has a Gepard here, so he has really moved up quite a lot of stuff in there. Alpha Jet gets out alive, but it doesn't do anything anyways. The Commandos 90 earlier also killed a Roland here, which is always nice. But yeah, I think nothing too much happens for a while now. I'm basically retaking this. He's retreating his Gepard and Kyler. I have control of Fox. I could effectively push this hound, but I decide not to, since it would not gain me too much. At the moment, Leopard Ace-1's pretty much fend anything off here. Rerouting 2 of the 4 I moved up to the left now. I want to do some aggressive stuff here, and I lose my CV. I'm like, what the fuck? Tiger! Fallschirmjäger! Yeah, that's just terrible. I also earlier bought a man-pet squad in this forest, but I forgot to unload it. It really bite me in the ass there. Moving my CV away from here and moving this track rapier I bought a while ago back. Now, I should have noticed it right now. He spots my rover CV, it's in the forest, it's spotted, can only be the tiger spotting it. And he's not shooting with the ATGM. I should have noticed that he doesn't have any ATGMs left. Unless he purposely turned it off, which I really doubt, since generally when you're behind the lines, you don't want to take safe shots, you generally want to take shots at sniping CV as soon as you can, since you now don't know how much AA there is and where it is. So you don't want to wait for a perfect opportunity, since most of the time you would get killed by then. So what I should have done is, I should have tried to stay as close to the tiger as I can. Which I did not. I basically told it to fuck right off into this direction to the track rapier. Because the snaps obviously have a minimum range and you need to be at a decent angle to fire them off. So what I should have done is, and I actually did do that. Basically move towards it, now moving back again. Now he lost line of sight. But I should not have moved in the open. Definitely not. I don't know why I did that. yeah. Desperately trying to get line of sight with the RBS 70. Getting the alpha hits, I think originally he wanted to catch the CV here, but then ultimately decided to move. Not moving my Foxtrot CV yet. Don't want to risk anything. I want to get into safe distance with the Drag Rapier first. These Fallschirmjäger move up, but I really don't notice them at this point. I'm more worried about this CV and whatever is here. Then notice, oh shit, he's trying to bomb this CV, but luckily napalm bombs are shit and those only carry 2. So my CV gets out safe and sound for now. Tiger gets a shot of immediately lose line of sight somehow. Like, stealth, fucking stealth. Look at this. How does this thing with good optics not spot the Tiger here? Which is in the air. Like, I could somehow understand it with medium or poor optics, but this thing is a fucking scout. And it's a fucking helicopter, and he has perfect line of sight. Anyways. Yeah, at first I was kinda hoping, oh, I critted it, I one-shot it, or it was damaged before, so I destroyed it since I lost line of sight, but as you can see, there's nothing crashing. I also turned off my fob immediately so he can't repair it. That was a Gepard, and I killed it luckily. So now I'm again panic mode. Okay, what the hell did where the hell did the Tiger go? Did the Tiger land here? Did it go somewhere here? Or, which is probably the worst case scenario, did it fly towards this direction? He might have still rocket pods left, and I probably still didn't quite realize that he had no gems left, or no, I probably realized it, but I possibly forgot. But the thing is, I have a Drag Rapier here and a CV. Chances are the Drag Rapier gets killed before the CV can spot the Tiger. Since CV has medium optics, Drag Rapier should have only poor ground optics, and against helicopters with stealth, only the ground optics count, not the air detection. Which is stupid, I know, but that's how it is. So, I'm kind of panicked, and I'm really 50 times telling this RBS-70 to attack move here and hopefully get line of sight on the Tiger. And also moving up my leopard down here. I also know that nothing is here so far. I see, okay, he captured the fob, so most chances are he captured the fob with his Tiger. Alpha Jet coming in again, and Peace Run actually much more dangerous now. Because I have only one CD left, and if he gets line of sight on the rover with his Tiger, I'm fucked. So I'm actually stopping the Drag Rapier here now, which I didn't do earlier. When the Alpha Jets flew over this, I on purpose did not tell the Drag Rapier to attack this because I wanted the ammunition for the Tiger or for other possible helicopters. But the Alpha Jets were ultimately no real threat to my CVs. So I wanted to save the ammunition here, but the Peace Run is actually a high threat, so I decided to attack there. And actually, he's actually going for my RBS here, which is very smart. Fast moving on the Leopards, hoping that he landed his Gepard, excuse me, the Tiger, so I can kill it with the Leopards. The Rapier didn't kill the Peace Run, hit only once. Luckily, get to kill the Tiger. I think he just saw the animation of the rotor wings, so he may have just tried to fly away from my Leopards. Got the fob again, it was turned on, so I immediately realized that it was turned off by me. But yeah, the Peace Run is still circling, and he still has Fallschirmjäger here, and I don't know if he has anything else there as well. Whether he has maybe another Tiger or some other unit, I don't know. But this is quite a predicament I'm in. Trying to move the CV down here, but as you will see, I decide against it. Trying to get the Leopards out of here because of the exactly the Fallschirmjäger 90. Now the next big problem arises. The CH-53Gs. If they spot the CV for the Peace Run, it's probably game over. Also, in the meantime, I'm moving these Leopards fast moving down here just to annoy him, take micro away from him. I should have done that earlier already, but that's the thing you always see when people are panicking, they forget about the front line. And I took way too long to realize to attack with all the shit that I have here. But I mean, I'm still doing it just quite a few minutes too late. But yeah, CH-53G's huge threat actually. Drag Rapier hits the Peace Run, gets a negative crit, but actually kills it, which is huge. because the Tractor Rapier was not really in a good position to kill the CH-53s fast enough. So yeah, also getting the bell back, which again I should have done way earlier. I'm just taking way too long with some of the things. Smoking here to block line of sight and get my CV in. Also fast moving the leopard down here to effectively scout whether something would kill my units if they spawn. So the first thing I do now is I buy a 4-stack of M41A1s. Why? Because that means they get spawned first and would also get targeted first by any units that are in the area. So there you can see 8 M41A1s and then 2 Command Leopards. Although you will see that the first Command Leopard will spawn before the second wave of M41A1s, since there's always a timer between these and there's no timer between unit tabs. Also buying 3 man pads. Peace run coming in again. Gets my CV, but even if a CV gets killed, if a CV is getting called in, or still like in this phase where it's not on the field yet, you won't lose the game. 2 more CVs. Alpha Jet coming in, but luckily I got tank CVs. Get reminded that there are actually Fallschirmjäger 90 in there. So right now I think that the only unit left he has are Fallschirmjäger 90 in this forest. Moving the M41A1s in there, smoking the leopard here, cutting this leopard into cover, shooting at my fob, which I shouldn't do, and actually moving the leopard into Charlie, trying to kill this Fallschirmjäger squad. He's Marsing, but it's not doing anything. 41A1s are killing this. I got a fob back, which means I have this left. I got 2 Tractor Rapier FSAs against plane spam, got a Mirage that I still had left, and this is pretty much game over. He tries to do something with 53 Gs here. He also had a Kyler left here, but yeah, realized he had no chance left. That was a real nail biter in the end when I lost that Swan CV. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then I want to show a few scenes from the other game I had on the same map from the same side against USA. Just a bit showcasing that, again, how good of a map this is for me. Fast forwarding, I think I did effectively the same strategy as before. I don't think you can do too much different on this map. You could probably do a foxtrot push. I don't think Bravo is very viable. I mean, it's certainly possible, but if you go for Bravo, then we give so much F in Fox and Golf. Whereas if you go for Golf or Fox, you can react to a push on the other side fairly fast enough. Whereas if you invest a lot into Bravo, you're effectively cut off from Fox and Golf. And it takes way too long to get through this forest, so you can't threaten these zones fast enough before your 2-pointer and shit gets taken. Little bird here. And this was kind of a weird opener for me, because at first I thought he was pushing left. I'm also mismarking a lot here. You can see the mortar is still in here, the FSA is still in here. I will lose the FSA. The mortar is moving that far up. Leopard Ace ones are moving back there, but no, they're moving back forward. He has an M1A2. Somehow my mortar survives. He has an M8 here, and I think some infantry in there as well, but I'm really focused on the right. The M1A2 is a real problem. I smoke it off, so he can't shoot at my shit here. Vertical slide rifleman. They're still not microed properly, which is really bad. Get my man pads here in position. And now he has, for whatever reason, he moves his M1A2 in there. Gets into short range fight with my commandos. My commandos effectively tank, and I just take quite some shots on the M1A2. Get into close range. And kill it. And this is how I also killed the other M1A2. Now he buys an HA. Probably the best thing to buy against the stick from with USA is the M1IP, maybe. HA is certainly better than the M1A2, since most of the time it does the same job. But still not perfect. The M1IP, what you need is high armor and normal AP, I guess. Armor is just way more important against these. And the M1IP should be perfect for that. Even the base Abrams probably works. Although, yeah, it should work, I think. But of course, one M1 Abrams won't have a chance against 2 or more Leopard Ace-1s. Yeah, but he also doesn't have a lot of defensive measures against the KO that you will see fairly soon. Nighthawk circling here, by the way, I don't spot this at all. I think he was able to make 3 runs with the Nighthawk. I was able to kill the HA with the North for spotting here. Mistake on his part, he should have moved it back further into the forest. It was like roughly in this area. Yeah, here you can see it. Standing for like 20 seconds, doing nothing. So he should have noticed that. But yeah, longbow comes out, kills like 1 Leopard Ace-1. It's picked up by the Phantom. Didn't even lose a plane in the process. Next, HA Abrams. Nighthawk gets out. Milan scares the HA Abrams a bit, but ultimately doesn't do much. I bought some base Leopard Ace-1s just against hordes of riflemen and M113s. Another HA here. Kill the HA on the right. I believe. Where is it? I believe I killed it with my tanks, but I'm not too sure. Another Leopard is HA here, now move back from left to right. I'm now trying to get basically some rear shots while the commandos and M13s are tanking. Unfortunately, don't get them. Get the KU in. Oh no, I actually did get it with the Bushranger. I think that was later on, with the KU missing here. Dab. Again, I mentioned it a long while ago, like here and there. Dab actually has an amazing autocannon with high DPS both against infantry and vehicles, but it just, since it is not rotated, it has no turret. As you can see, it is fixed. This here and this here. It takes a while to align. Same with the K50 and K52. Killed it with the RB70 with Bob Ross. But yeah, nothing too special. Kill the super heavies, his heavies. The next M1A2 is out. I think he had no HA Abrams left. But same thing as before. Force him into a close quarter fight and kill him with the Leopards. I think the next longbow will also come out. Pretty sure he realized that he's lost, but he just, knocking this off. Only killed 1 Leopard Ace-1. Tried to go with 2 Mirages, but wasn't quite able to. Then ultimately get him with the RB70. Do you get any? Well, I mean, Leopard Ace-1 killed the M1A2, but well, whatever. But yeah, maybe I'll record some live gameplay of this deck fairly soon again. I don't know yet. We will see. Sorry guys, I'm just a bit tired. And nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll probably bring some more different Wargame videos again in the next few days or in the next week. And yeah, until then, I'll see you next time.